Hello. Welcome. You're the first. Welcome. Come on in. Dang, I left my teacup somewhere. Will I be okay without my teacup? Am I going to be okay without my teacup? I'm not going to be okay without my teacup, guys. Hey, welcome in. I got to get my teacup. Everybody, welcome everybody else while I go get my teacup. I can't do this without my teacup. Oh my gosh. I just don't want to. I don't want to stay together. I got to get my teacup. Okay. Teacup. Hello. Okay. I'm waiting on water. I don't know how I forgot to make a cup of tea. I don't know. Okay, beloveds, welcome in. Good to see you all. Hey. Greetings, everybody. Good to see you. I am back. It has been a long journey. I've missed you all. But I'm here, and I'm glad you are here. Welcome. So today, I am offering you my soul, in a way, to talk about hypertension, anxiety, and adrenal fatigue. That is what we will be chatting about. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me well? I did a what do you call it, teleconference today, and the people kept going, we can't hear you. Can you let me know if you can hear me well, please? I don't care what sign you give me. I just need to know. Can you hear me? While my tea kettle is percolating over there. Yes. Yes, hi. Can you hear me? Yep, that's what I want to know. Greetings. I have so much on my heart today. Today is a full one. It's been an intense day. I'm really weak. Thank you so much for that. It's been an intense week, honestly. And it's just now Tuesday. I do recognize that it's just Tuesday. It feels like a lot more than Tuesday, beloveds. So thank you so much for that. I did do a call today, and I feel like I must have been in a tunnel or something for those people that could not hear anything I was saying. I spent 10 minutes just adjusting sound quality. So now I'm trying to get my laptop going. I don't know what I was thinking. Didn't get the laptop right and didn't get the tea. But the most important thing is the tea. So, okay, so we are here. I want to know how many people in the room know somebody who has hypertension. Just raise your hand if you know somebody who has hypertension or somebody who has anxiety. Do you know? Yes? Okay. So right now, according to stats in these United States, yeah, me too. According to stats in these United States, almost 50% of the people in the country have had an experience of hypertension, right? That's epidemic, isn't it? That's an exceptional number. Almost half the people in the United States at some point have experienced and or have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, even if it was mildly elevated or pre-hypertensive. That's a really, I think that's a testament to the country. I do not think that we should in any way feel like this is a testament to what we are doing, because the country, ma'am, sir, the whole country, gosh, you go to another country, they're like, hypertensive. What do you mean this? What do you mean? Oh, you mean stress? Is it real clear that You mean stress. Okay, you've been diagnosed with stress, So, it's an unfortunate reality that this is where we are, where every daggone body, greetings, welcome in, where every daggone body knows somebody who has hypertension and or stress and anxiety also. So another show of hands, if you know somebody that has anxiety, and if you need to be pointing to yourself, then I don't know which little thing you need for that, but what little icon you need for that. But if it's you, then you can also let me know that. The days of this reality, it's very challenging to see how anybody is going to live without stress and anxiety. It's very challenging, but it's not impossible. And that is the reason why I chose this subject to chat about today. Now, I'm going to, as I always say, I'm going to do my best to keep us in a condensed kind of dialogue here so we don't go all around the world and I. But thank you. You and 49.8% of the United States of America at this point. So I have a lot on my mind about this subject all the time. And in some part because in one day, any day at the Wellspring, a person will walk in the door, I don't know, 50 times a day? I don't know, a bunch of times a day. First time in the door, never been here before. What do you have for hypertension? My mother has hypertension. My daddy got high blood pressure. I got the stress. This, it's a thing, right? And so we spend a lot of time working to help people to find their way to wellness where this is concerned. So this is what we're going to talk about. I'm going to do what I always do. I come in here to share what I have. So you come in here to share what you have. Share with me your questions, your thoughts, your feelings, your concerns on this particular subject, and I will share what I have. It's there's no strings attached. It's nothing major. It's a subject that I'm very comfortable with, well versed in, treat people all day, every day on this particular subject, and I believe in a holistic mind-body perspective. I am not a pill hater. I do hate the fallout, the negative effects of the medications, which is why I believe that people should find a way to wellness, find a way to part ways with the medications safely. But if we're talking about saving your life, well, then let's save your life. You know what I mean? If we're talking about the difference between, we all know the kind of language that we don't like to say, but we all know is that hypertension is dangerous. We know that. So we might as well get the rough stuff out the way first. It is dangerous. It is not a game you want to play. And it is, I'm talking about from the perspective of the damage that it can do to your life and your body. I'm not talking about off the deep end, you know what I mean? Where, that's not what I'm speaking about. I'm talking about the impact that it can have on your body. And that's the place that, when people say, I want to do this naturally, I can like respect that. I respect that. I do respect that. And at the same time, doing this naturally, the do that they're talking about is to be able to heal from hypertension naturally. I agree. I think you should. However, the process to that is a serious work, especially if you've been taking hypertension medication, because the medication, meaning your lisinoprils, amlodipines, whatever, all the ones, propranolol, whichever ones, all of those. If you've been taking those medications, then it's given you a false sense of safety. And two, it has given you a lazy way to healing. And anybody who's ever had a shortcut to something, it's real hard to get them to do the work. Once you've had a shortcut, you kind of always want a shortcut. And if you truly, truly, truly want to heal from hypertension or anxiety or adrenal fatigue, there is no shortcut. It is work. It's essential work. You must do it from beginning to end. You don't have to do it by yourself. Greetings, Herbal Queen. You don't have to do it by yourself, but you do have to do the work. So I'm going to first, as I said, present myself. Please fill the chat with your questions. Whatever you have on your heart, just put it in there. While you do that, I'm going to go fill my cup. I'll be back. I want to see your questions when I return, then I will answer them. tea. All right, I'm ready. Let's see what we got here. We have no questions. None. Okay. Well, that's going to make for a quiet conversation, beloveds. I know you have a thought on your mind, and if this is your first time here, then do know that this is a learning space. Do share what you're holding. This is Rise and Shine, by the way. I know it is not AM, but I really wanted green tea. And so in this Rise and Shine, this is a blend that we sell at the Wellspring, but it is made by Amethyst Moon, who is my last born daughter. Thank you. I see your question. My last born daughter, Camila. That is her blend. It's called Rise and Shine. She made it for me because I do not like high energy drinks of any kind. I don't like the high caffeinated kind of feeling, but I do like like effervescent morning tea. So she made this Rise and Shine for me. It is made with a green tea slurry, which is Dragonwell green tea, and a couple other things are in there. It's really tasty. It smells really nice. So, okay. Question. I have moments where I do have anxiety. What can I do for that? Okay. I have moments where you have anxiety. Are the moments the same? Is it the same kind of circumstance when you have this anxiety coming is the question. Is it the same circumstance all the time? Like every time I have to drive, or every time I have to, go to work and deal with my supervisor, or da-da-da. Is it the same circumstance every time you have this anxiety? Okay, got it. So, welcome in. We're talking about anxiety, hypertension, and adrenal fatigue. So, if a person says, I have moments of anxiety, then I tend to immediately start with paying attention to gut health, right? Because the gut flora is like think of it as the fundamental floor. It's the foundation of who we are, not from an energetic perspective, but from a microbiome perspective. The microbiome, which is the community of flora, among other things, that helps us to found or ground ourselves in our emotional body. So I would be focusing on the microbiota. And I would do that by, first, I would do something on par with an elimination diet. I would start taking some things out of my regular rotation. If it's caffeine, then I would restrict and minimize my caffeine to two things. It's going to be cacao nibs and green tea. I'm not having any other caffeine in my life except cacao nibs and green tea. Every other thing has got to go. And if your forms of caffeine are coming from a coffee cup that you didn't make, then absolutely it's got to go. Like, you must remove these things from your body, because it takes a very long time. We think that, we drank this cup of something and very quickly the caffeine hit us and we're done. But that is not the case. The first wave of caffeine hits you, and then the second wave comes as you try to process your emotions. Caffeine is the kind of thing that can sit itself in your body, much like, have you ever had an edible before? You don't have to answer. But you know how edibles give you that wave as you process your food, as you digest, and there'll be a little more of the THC that'll come into the bloodstream every time as the gut motility moves, your intestines move like this. They're like processing food, and caffeine has that same effect. It goes into the bloodstream and processes itself in the gut more than once. It hangs around. So why does that matter to you? Because your body, you right now don't have space to play with any random amount of excitability, right? So that's the first thing, is limit your caffeines to those two things that I mentioned. Then the second thing is, in general, always be in prebiotic and probiotic positive. Like, make sure that you're taking a prebiotic and a probiotic all the time, at least while you're going to give yourself the time to figure out exactly what is the right way to live with this anxiety. I do not believe that there's anything wrong with an anxiety. It is a part of your defense mechanism. right? It's a part of your holistic defense mechanism, the part that tells you when you are not, or when you are perceiving that, when some aspect of you perceives that it is not safe in this moment, and some aspect of you that perceives that a moment ahead of where you are is going to be worse than the moment that you're sitting in right now, right? So it's like this overall sense of dread for a moment that has not yet come, right? Now, why do you have that sense? Is it because of a moment that has passed that you are using as the baseline informant of how the next moment will be? Do you follow me, Andrea? Do you follow what I'm saying before I go too far in the wrong direction for you? Smells so good. Okay, so it's important that, good. It's important that we all recognize that the central nervous system, bridge to the autonomic nervous system, bridge to the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems. These are brilliant, majestic aspects of ourselves. We talk about the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system as the one that just focuses on resting and digesting. And I just want you to remember that that part of yourself is also focusing on preserving your life. Because you might forget to breathe, and you might forget to blink, and you might forget to digest, and you might forget to hydrate your eyes. You might forget to moisturize your nose. You might forget all those things. You might forget to turn the thermostat on that says that it is hot or it is cold, therefore sweat or not. You might forget to do all those things, but your autonomic nervous system is not. And your system knows what you need, right? It's going to do all the things that you need. So one aspect of your system is running in the background all the time, keeping you here. The other aspect is figuring out, it's listening to you. It's listening to your personality. It's listening to the messages that you give it. And it's then processing those things. The other one is sitting back, ignoring you basically, for the most part. It's ignoring your thought until it has to pay attention to that thought. The rest of that system is listening to every single thing that you process. Whether you're lying or not, whether you are sincere or not, whether you're sure or not, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It is processing your thoughts and your feelings. And it's deciding what to do with those things. It's always regulating. Think of it like these two dials that, you need like a little bit more of this. Okay, no. The circumstances change. We need a little more of that. Okay, shift it back this way. This is what the nervous system is doing for us all the time, 100% of the time. So anxiety, as well as hypertension, is very reactive. It's a very sharp system. It's reacting. And hypertension it's a sign of the reaction. It's a sign of the messages that it's gotten. The same for anxiety. It's just a sign of the messages that it's gotten over time. So what are you to do about it? Continuing on that. In addition to streamlining what you take in as caffeine, 100% of the time, it's essential that you remember that sleep is not negotiable. It's a whole medicine. A whole medicine. Now, there's a lot that I don't know in this moment in terms of the medications you might be taking or the root origin of this anxiety. But the one thing I can tell you is that a lack of sleep will leave your adrenals shot. And if the adrenals are shot, then your availability to anxiety will be higher. The same thing is the case if you're not well hydrated. So people go, no, just, take a pill or just calm down. I know you must just dread it when people say just calm down, as if there's a button for calm down. It's a constant work for calming the body. So the next thing I would say in terms of do for that, I would say that creating a strong practice around breath work is an imperative for anxiety. And practicing this breath work when you're not feeling anxious. When you're anxious is a bad time to start practicing breath work. It's not a skill that you hold in your body, and it doesn't bear results for you yet. So it's not a good time to start trying to think and learn and practice something. We don't do that well when we're stressed. We don't learn well when we're stressed because we don't process well when we're stressed. Because of that, it's better to practice these things like 4-4-4 or 4-4-4-4 box breathing, or a 4-7-8 breath, or a pranayama, like a alternate nostril kind of breathing. Practice your breathing techniques when you are not stressed. Also, make sure that every single morning, do not miss a sunrise. And if your life will not allow you to miss a sunrise, salam mama, if your life does not allow you to see the sunrise because of your schedule, etc., whatever it may be, then making absolutely certain that you have red light therapy in your house or in your gym. Is red light therapy equal to natural sunlight? No. But is it a better thing for you than missing it altogether and not getting any of that ultraviolet light or any of that infrared or ultraviolet? Yes, get the infrared. And then ultraviolet also. Both of them. We need both of them. So these are that's probably, that was 5 or 6 things that I would suggest for anxiety. The other thing that I believe that the traditional Chinese system of acupuncture is one of the best medicine, equal to plants, herbs for anxiety, really for all these things, anxiety, hypertension, and adrenal fatigue. I say this because the meridians of the ancient Chinese medicine allow us to find where the imbalances are. Anxiety often can be represented by a deficiency of the kidneys and a deficiency in the sometimes liver also. And these are systems that are designed to look for these things and rebalance or restore them. So that is also what I will be doing. And so that I don't talk you to death about the subject, let me know, Miss Andrea, if you have what you need or if you have any further questions. Everybody, we're talking about hypertension, anxiety, and adrenal fatigue. If you have any questions, this is the space. I just came to hang out to answer questions. So if you've got one, go for it. Go for it. Ooh, that's super bright. I don't know if I can take that. That is exceptional light. It's getting a little dark in here, so I'm trying to adjust the light a little bit. See what I can do there. Adjust some light. It's too bright. Let's do that. Can you see me? That's better. That's just too bright. Let me put myself to sleep in here. Trying to deal with the light. Okay. Any other questions for me? I think I answered. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. I hope that all those things are helpful for you and for others. So, if you have questions about these subjects, this is what I came in here for. You share the question. I will answer and build on your thought there. It's a you call, I response system. As I said, my tea is Rise and Shine. It's made by Amethyst Moon, which is my last born daughter Camila's fine tea and tisanes line of products. It's so yummy. Yes. Okay. Well, what else can I tell you? Just for the sake of, I would share that for me, one of the most important things that we don't talk about when talking about healing hypertension naturally or healing anxiety naturally is lab work. It's important to know your labs. And I don't think that when talking about natural healing that we talk about that enough. But in reality, you need labs. You need to know everything that there is to know about your body. And you then use that information to inform your methodology for treating. For instance, with people with hypertension, they may not know that they carry a gene that inclines them to experiences with hypertension, like the homocysteine, the gene itself would be, one of them is the MTHFR gene. And then in other ways, we see trouble with heightened homocysteine or lipoprotein A. These are all things that you can check in with your labs about. Now, your average physician may be lazy, frankly. Your physician might be lazy and not be doing enough, thinking that a CBC is enough. It's not enough. A C-reactive protein may be necessary in order to see how much inflammation may be in the system, how much calcification may be in the blood. That's a calc test, I think is what they call it. And then to see how your body is processing fats. All these things will affect your the way you're experiencing your blood pressure. And yes, are there natural ways to address it once you know that is the case? Yeah, we do it every day. We do it every day. So these are things that I would say anybody who has hypertension should absolutely start to look at these things, and we can support you in doing that. Anxiety at its root can be it is never going to be just a physical matter. It's never going to be just a physical matter, because anxiety is almost always coming from a part of yourself that's unseen. It's coming from an aspect of you that is more sensitive than greetings, dear. It's coming from an aspect of you that's much more sensitive than the part of you that you put in the forefront. It's let's say it's more sensitive than your representative, right? The representative of you. Anxiety is coming from an aspect of you that may be tired, maybe chronically fatigued, and really wanting you to sit down somewhere. We live in a society that wants you to hustle and grind and be busy and make everything happen and be everywhere every time, all the things. And I can tell you that a body that is experiencing anxiety is usually a body that needs to go sit down somewhere. Yep, needs to go sit down somewhere, needs to give itself time, needs to be in a space of listening to the body, as opposed to making assumptions and assertions about what you need. You really have to get into intimacy, connected time with yourself to see exactly what you need. Sometimes it's just it can be as simple as you just need to go to bed earlier. Go to bed earlier consistently for 90 days and then watch the anxiety melt away. It could be that you're overexposed, talking to too many people in a day. It could be that you're under connected, not having enough intimacy and passion in your life. It could be that a story from your past is informing your future. We don't want that. Not if the story is not serving you well. The spiritual matter of anxiety can also be, cellular memory is a thing, right? I don't want to go too far in this particular part of the conversation and confuse anybody, but I just want to remind us that these are all things, anxiety, adrenal fatigue, and hypertension, are things that are sometimes considered genetic, and they may be. Greetings, but I also want to remind that there is a difference between genetics and inheritance. Inheritance has nothing to do with genes. You can inherit something just because you were exposed to it, and that's the way it was done in your environment. I also want to remind that there are multi-environments. I say this all the time. The environment does not mean just the space between you and I. Environment starts with in, and then environment moves from here into the body, and then from the body into the space. That's the space between you and I. And then environment is the greater community. But there can be things that are disrupting your environment on all those levels. The environment of your brain and the environment of your mind, the type of stuff that you expose your mind to, yeah, that's environment. You set a tone in there. And the tone that you set in there can be very undermining to your body's sense of peace. Yeah, if you set a tone in your internal environment, I'm talking about the environment of your mind. That's the things that you think, the things that you allow people to feed you in terms of your thoughts and your consciousness or your concepts. These things can absolutely be unsettling and lead to all the things that we're discussing today. Yep, that is the first environment. It's in your mind. The environment of your mind then informs the environment of your body. We know this to be true from the perspective that if you think enough about a thing, you can manifest that thing. Think enough about something that worries you and watch a heart palpitation come after it. Yeah, because of the power of your mind. It is the greatest pharmacy of all time. What you think will produce a chemical, and that chemical will produce a reaction in the body, and that reaction will produce a sensation, and that sensation we'll refer to as a feeling. And the more you go down that rabbit hole right there, the more you will see that If the chemicals are there to cause you to become or feel anxious, then the chemicals are also there to cause you to create calm. And so I tell you that starting with that place that I was talking about of making sure you get to see the sunrise as often as possible. Get yourself in the sun. And I don't mean just like through a window. I mean like get the sun rise on yourself. You know, I always talk about first light. In my years as a preceptor, in all the years that I've spent initiating people into varying levels of spiritual depth and varying levels of self-awareness, helping people to determine an understanding of who they are. One of the things that is consistent is that I want to see you live based on what you say you believe. What is it that you say you believe? If you say that you believe that you are great, that you are a goddess, that you are beautiful, that you are that you have the capacity to, if you believe these things, then I want to see you actualizing those things. And a person who considers themselves divine is not going to be a latecomer to the start of a day. They're going to be awake. They're up. They're up to greet the day. Your morning ritual begins as the sun rises, if not before, so that you can create a consciousness for your day. And I'm not talking about really like from the goal setting planning perspective. I mean from the creative perspective, actually creating the consciousness that you want for your day. This begins before sunrise. And that will not work if you are up at 10, 11, 12 o'clock. No. The person who wants to receive the day is up at those hours. The person who wants to create the day, they're up in the morning, before the morning. That's when they're up. And if you want to create a day that is absent of anxiety and even absent of hypertensive reactivity in your day, then it's going to be important that you see what I refer to as first light, which is when it's like blue, silvery blue outside before the sun has risen. That color is important. That ultraviolet is essential. You need to see that time. And you do your research on the power of that time. But if you want to heal up the heart and you want to heal the adrenals, the adrenals are sitting on the kidneys. They're in a very powerful position. They sit atop the kidneys. So the adrenals can be burned out based on the stressors that are coming through the kidneys. The kidneys' job is to govern fluids in the body, right? Among other things, it's governing fluids in the body. So it can be, the kidneys can be taxed in a way that, when you feel anxious, not everyone, most people, when they feel anxious, they feel like they have to urinate a lot. They're going back and forth to pee a lot. That's the kidneys reconciling the stressor because you've sent the signal that there is a threat. There's a threat somewhere. There's an assault, or at least the potential of one. So the kidneys understand that we have to cast off water. We don't need this. We need to get as light and as agile as we possibly can. Our vision begins to narrow so that we can, execute on evacuating a space, saving our lives. So the physical body does a lot of work to respond to that signal, the signal of stress in the body. And if we can address the signal of stress in the body, all the things I mentioned are steps. I mean, powerful steps, not just your piddly widdly, do a little something. Notice I haven't said a thing about salt, right? Because there's so many things that we need to do in terms of our relationship with and to and within ourselves in order to truly address hypertension, anxiety, and adrenal fatigue. So that is my extended version. Extended version on that particular question. That was the remix. So, as I said, if you have questions about these things, now's the time. Otherwise, we're going to say M-I-C-K-E-Y. We're going to say farewell. Because I came to answer your questions. I think I've done a good job of doing that so far. So, any other questions for me on this subject? If you know a person who has hypertension, tell them we have a CMOS formula called Healthy Heart. Healthy Heart is a mind-body moss. It's not just your, cinnamon's good for blood pressure kind of thing. It's much more detailed than that. It's working on the mind and the body. That blend, we also have, I see your question, we also have a blend, a tea blend called Healthy BP. It's also working to protect the kidneys and the arteries in that blend. We have a tea called Peace Be Still. Most have heard me talk about it. It's my all-time favorite tea. It's an adrenal support, anxiety support, absolute favorite blend. Absolute favorite blend of all time. I personally like mine with a little coconut milk. Thank you very much. And in addition to that, there are practices that I like for addressing the matters that are described here. And as for low blood pressure, the most important thing, again, it goes right back to lab work. We got to know what the body is creating there, what's causing the pressure to be low. There are analysis that we need to do. We need to look at heart function. We need to make sure that the electricity in that body is working well, because very often electrical signals can be distorted. That means we're going to focus on things like cellular salts, cell salts, and trace minerals, and what else we got? Cell salts, trace minerals. Again, acupuncture, working with those meridians to build the chi. That's a person whose general life force energy can be considered. Yes, you're welcome. That's a person whose life force energy can be distorted. That doesn't mean that they're about to die. It just means that where their energy, it's easy for you, like it comes down to your pulses, right? Your energy just can be weak. Your energy can be weak. And if your energy is weak, listen, to pump that blood like that takes great force. Right? You feel the heart. It's a powerful muscle. And if that force is not correct and those signals, you know, we are not supposed to be low voltage. We're supposed to be high voltage beings, not low voltage. Low voltage means dehydration. Low voltage means low electrical fluids, electrical conductivity in the body. So we want to increase that, and the salts are imperative. This is one of the reasons why I don't like the idea that just because you have hypertension, you're supposed to not have salt. Like no salt diets, you're going to die. You need it. You need salt. You just need a quality salt, and you do not need salt from McDonald's. You do not need salt from Chick-fil-A. You do not need salt from wherever that other place is that y'all be going to eat. You don't need, that's not where you need the salt from, but you do need salt. Greetings, welcome back. But you do need salt. So if a person has low blood pressure, they absolutely need quality salt in their lives. They need cell salts. I would have to know the person to be able to know which cell salts are a best match for that person. But I can assure you they need cell salts. I don't know if it's going to be like calcium sulf. I don't know if it's going to be Cali Mur. I don't know if it's going to be Nature Mur. I don't know which one is going to be that they need, but they need some cell salts. And so if you love them, tell them about that. Tell them about that. And they need trace minerals. Things like Element, LMNT. That's the name of the brand, LMNT. And if that one, then this one's called, it's rude to say my least favorite. What I really mean is it's like my handy dandy, like take it on the road with me because I don't care if TSA takes it kind of brand. Let's see if you can see that. Is that back? Oof. Can you see that name? Anderson Trace Mineral Complex. Yeah, this is in my anything I drink. Not necessarily this brand all the time. Like I said, this is a travel brand for me. But LMNT is all caps, and this one, and what else do I like? There's one other brand I can't remember. But trace minerals are a thing. Everybody needs them, but certainly if a person has low blood pressure, like that, all of that should be on the top of the list for them. There are herbs that I like also, like all the deep greens. I also want to pull a heavy metals detox on that person. That's important because again, the heavy metals can be pulling them down, can be slowing down that circuit that we need. It's a circuit, you know, how the blood moves through the body. So that's my long version. I should have made it shorter for you. Okay, so, and yes, it is absolutely mental. All of those things are mental. In fact, there's nothing that happens in the body that is not mental. What does mental mean? Mente. It means in the sacred domain. It happens inside of the sacred domain. And that's what all of our lives. We don't have anything happening outside of ourselves that doesn't happen in that space first. So, yes. And if something is happening in the space of anxiety, then absolutely it is coming from the mind first. It is true. Welcome, everybody. If you have questions about these things, I do not want to be begging you all. I just want you to tell me what you want to know. If you want to know something. Okay, so yes, if a person has anxiety, then they are also a person that I want to make sure they are nutrient dense. That's not a person that I want to be eating. This one is a tricky one because it really does depend on the nature of the person. But let me say, in general, this is not a good subject for broad strokes, but I'm going to say in general, it's not a good person. A person who has anxiety is not a good person to be eating animals for the most part. Generally speaking, I can think of some like, what do you call it, caveats to that. The caveats to that are going to be like, if I find that the mineral density is so off, if I find that we're in such a deficit, sometimes I will stuff a grass-fed. I went straight to the farm and got that cow slaughtered myself and got that meat for you myself. I know what it's been eating kind of meat on you. If you're in such a deficit that it's now time that I urgently get you to something. If it's a woman and her blood rights is disturbed by her low quality blood, then I might not mess around. I might not feel like I have the time at my disposal to build them up with greens, especially since kale, in a person who has a weakened blood, kale is high in thallium at times. And that can, I see your question, and that can undermine the health of a person whose blood is weak. So it would limit the amount of greens that I feel like I can work with. I think y'all understand what I'm saying. So yeah, that's what I would do. And then that question was, what about dairy? Yeah. Y'all know I love plants. I love plants. I just want to eat them. I just want to eat them all. I love them, love them, love them. Nothing makes me happier than the plants. And nothing, because it's what I love, I want it for you, right? It's what I want you to have all the time. So welcome, everybody. Hey, daughter. Salam, Mizan. So, gosh. What about dairy? All right, so why you asked me that question? The truth is, I don't like dairy for us. I don't like dairy for us. Man, there's so many deficits that come along with it. The leaching, there's so many deficits, generally speaking. And a part of the problem is that we do not maintain our own, our own livestock. If we maintain our own livestock, I just want to eat the plants. I do. I'm so attracted to them. They make me so happy. They make me so happy on a plate. Oh, they do. And they make me happy for you too. Again, under certain circumstances, and I try to take people where they are. I want to be with you where you are. So if for you, eating animal-derived things works for you, then I'm going to work within the space that you are comfortable, as long as you can show me that the nutrition plan that you're working from is working for you. So if you tell me I'm vegan, I don't want to eat no animal, like myself, I'm not vegan because I'll slaughter something in a minute. I got hides. I got feather. Listen, I live an indigenous people's life. So vegan means nothing to me. That's not, when I say I love plants, do not assume that I am vegan, because I'm gonna wear some Timbs and feel good about them. I live traditional practices. I slaughter things. I wear hides. I sleep on hides. Anybody who's ever been trained or initiated with me at any time, they'll tell you I just am attracted to plants as food more than any other thing. They just are very exciting to me. Very exciting to me. So anyway, to say that if the food plan that you built for yourself, you tell me that you're omnivore, but your lab work tells me that you're suffering, then we're not going to be omnivore tomorrow. We're not going to be omnivore tomorrow because your omnivore diet is lacking something. Something is not right in there. If the labs show me, especially things that like the the test that will allow me to see like a stretch over months of your blood, like how things have been for you for months. I'm not working on the assumption that today is just a bad snapshot of you, like that kind of thing. Then I don't care what it is that you loved eating. If your lab work tells me that your body doesn't love it as much as you do, you retained me to support you. And my job in supporting you is to be okay with you not liking the fact that I said I'm going to stuff that chicken in your gullet. I crack myself up. I'm going to stuff that. I'm not going to make you eat a chicken. But I'm not going to make you do that, I promise. Unless, of course, your labs tell me that something is awry here. This happens a lot with me when working with the prego mamas or the breastfeeding mamas. I know I'm funny. I crack myself up as often as possible. That is a medicine for me. Crack myself up. It happens a lot when working with the prego mamas, the breastfeeding mamas, even the postpartum mamas and the postpartum babas too. They know what they want to eat, and I'm paying attention to what their body is telling me. I might not be the right match for them because I am less concerned about your principles and more concerned about your practice and more concerned about your outcomes. So, for a person whose body shows me that they can do dairy well, I'm going to go with it because it's your body. I do not set trip on nobody's food life. I do not feel like, listen, this is my thing. I'm not in the club with, I don't mean the club, like the club, that's not that club. I mean, like, I don't want to be a part of the food clubs where like all the people over here are doing the like raw thing and all the people over here doing, I don't give a damn about nobody else. I don't care about nobody else. This body is the only body I've got to take care of. I've got children and I don't got to take care of them. I don't got to. Mind you, they're little people who are grown people at this point. But I say this because nobody's the boss of me. And nobody's like, what do you call that thing? Like, nobody's feisty perspective on food. They don't feed me. They don't fund me either. Therefore, I'm going to eat what thus saith the Zion. Crack myself up, boy, y'all. I'm funny, guys. Oh, man. Yeah, I must say what thus saith the Zion. That would be me. And I feel the same way for you. I'm going to work for you to help you to be happy and whole. And if your labs and your performance says dairy is it, then we doing it. We're doing it. I don't care what whoever on Insta, whatever, or Tik to whoever, and anybody, I don't care what they say. Until they come through here and start paying your bills, particularly your grocery, paying for your labs, paying for your doctor's visit, F them. Ain't none of them going to show up when that doctor gives you said diagnosis that you're deficient in this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this from following their damn diet. That's the perspective that I have. That's what I think. Now, if the labs say that this does not serve you well, open your heart and receive the guidance. Open your heart because we got work to do. The goal is to be well, not just today. I'm not interested in being a part of your club. I'm interested in divinity. My time here on this planet, in this life stream, is to meet my eventual destiny, which I have determined is to be divinity for myself. And because of that, I ain't going to roll out this country or roll off this planet a sickly mess because that's a weak vibration. I can't make my destiny on a weak vibration. So that's the type of stuff I be in here thinking about. And I'm just sharing. I think I answered your question, beloved. If not, do share. Okay. Any other questions for me? I mentioned something about, what was it? What was I talking about earlier? I see this stuff sitting here. I was talking about homocysteine. I mentioned that earlier, and I see that there's some of the medicinals that I've used for people throughout the day. I do not carry this, by the way. We do not carry this in the Wellspring. We make all of our things ourselves. But this is not, listen, I am not saying this is a perfect brand of anything. That is not the reason why I'm sharing this with you. I'm sharing it with you because I was talking about high homocysteine. Elevated homocysteine will absolutely leave you at great risk to constant bouts of hypertension. Can you see that? I didn't know. Yes, I hope that's clear. Is it backward? I don't know. Mary Ruth's, she not my mama. I don't know her. I don't owe her nothing. She don't owe me nothing. But this is just something that was sitting in the moment. This is a B12 supplement. The reason why this is important is because it's methyl B12. You see that? Methyl B12? That means it is methylated. It means that it helps you to break down the supplement. Because some people's bodies do not methylate very well. They don't break down the supplements. Therefore, you're making very expensive pee and poop. Very expensive pee and poop. Why do I say that? Because your body's not breaking down what you're taking. So you're paying a bunch of money to buy the thing, and more than 85% of it is passing right out the toilet. More than 85%? Listen, these supplements are expensive. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. We don't have time for that. So get a methylated supplement. Go to the Google Gods, go to the Amazonians, whatever you choose, but look for methylated. I don't care whether you have the gene that makes it so you don't methylate things very well. Doesn't matter. Still, if it's easier to break down, then why would we not all have it? Why do we even have a brand out here that's not methylated if we know that guts can't always break them down? That's just stupid. That's like my daughter bought some cleaning product the other day, and it said extra fresh. Well, why did you even bottle something that was less than extra fresh? Why would it not be just, you gonna make me pay more for something that's more fresh? That's insane. That's where we live today. Okay, so anyways, methyl B. I mentioned this methyl B12 because if you know somebody who has hypertension, like goes through cycles of it, they just aren't getting over it, tell them to get that labs pulled again. They probably need a completely different kind of physician if the physician hasn't told them this thing already. But elevated homocysteine will absolutely make it so that no matter, it sort of feel like no matter what you do, that thing is not getting better. So here we are. By the way, we do have a healthy BP coaching program that I really like it. It's me, but I really do like it. I love the stuff that we get to do in there, and I really love the outcomes that we get to see. People who've been on medication for 20 years, you know, these people on the medication for forever still have hypertension. Why? Because the medication wasn't designed to correct anything. It wasn't. It may potentially be saving their life unless you're looking at the long-term range on some of these medications, which is leading to dementia. It is. The medications are doing that. They are. Not fixing the problem at all. Why you got to be on it all your life? Why are you still on the medication? You're on the medication because it's not fixing anything. It is potentially preserving your life, depending upon who you talk to, namely me. Okay, so I think I've done my job. I think I've answered questions. The 120 Naturally Healthy BP Coaching Program exists at the Wellspring Natural Living Center. And you can do a private consultation. That will be one-on-one. You can do a 30-day coaching program on almost any subject. We have had all of the things. Sensuality, sexuality. We've had, that one is called Apex Sexual Vitality Program. Then there's the Cell Defender. That's the anti-cancer program. That anti-cancer program is for people who, coaching program is for people who absolutely do not want it and are willing to do whatever it takes to avoid it, and the people who have had it and don't want to get it back, and the people who are having it right now. All of that. That's all in the Cell Defender program. And then there's the 120 Naturally Healthy Blood Pressure Coaching Program. There is the Menopause Mastery Program. Coming up soon, we have the Wellspring Academy. That is our training and certification program. All the things. So I think I've done my job here with you all. If there is nothing else, then I'm going to bid you adieu. And I will see you at the Wellspring. Thank you very much for hanging out. And greetings to all of my students and godchildren and even the sibling or two that I've seen pass through. Salam alaikum to you all. Light gone. Check. Have a wonderful evening, my friends.